You joined us on Fundamentals for a special celebrity interview with Spencer Wilding. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. So, Spencer's been in so many huge projects. Just to mention some right off the top, he's been in Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Victor Frankenstein, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the King Darth Vader in Rogue One Star Wars story.
That's like five of my 50 film roles,
Yeah, I was
man.
gonna say, and so many more. I kept wanting to get more pictures. I was like, man, I'll be here all day getting all these pictures.
Oh, mate, so many, so many.
So I tried to take some of the big iconic ones that was like near and dear to us. So
Mhm. Yeah.
Yes, as you can see, I have like the Harry Potter background behind me. So,
So I've done several characters for Harry Potter. A lot of people think it's just the werewolf. I
mm,
played on the werewolf 2002 we filmed that, and it was released in 2003. And then I double daggered in 5. I played one of the knights in Death Lies Part 2, and I played Greyback and Death Eater in the Harry Potter Wizard Unite game for Warner Brothers.
oh wow,
oh
nice.
shit, that's
Me and
dope.
me and Alan Rickman sang "Happy Birthday" to Daniel on his 14th birthday,
Really?
and it was a
Oh,
built-up set. And
Oh,
as Alan Rickman was coming down the stairs, he fell, and I caught him. I went to save your life.
oh,
oh my
that's so
goodness.
sweet. I'm
Yeah,
tearing up
good.
a little bit on that one. That's
Oh, really?
beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I read about the Hagrid double, and like I didn't know that until like last night when I was reading more into you. I was like,
yeah.
oh my god, like I did not have any idea about that.
Well, the scene I did, I just did it for a couple of days. They wanted me to do the whole episode, the whole series after that, because the original one, he played for England for. He was a rugby guy, like 6'8". Dan. He was a really, really big guy, and he couldn't make it. He was doing other stuff, and they asked me to, can I come on and do it? But I couldn't really get stuck on a double contract, a doubling contract. Then I'd sacrifice all my other future work, you know.
Mm.
Right.
So I just come in to help them for the day. There's a scene. Do you remember when Hagrid's friends came over, the giants, and they picked Hermione up?
Yeah,
Do you remember that scene? And
yeah.
it was a reverse shot. I was in the Hagrid suit, and I was going, "No, put her down." You know what I mean? That was my little bit. That was my little bit.
Nice.
And
That was insane.
Nice.
and at the time, yeah, and at the time I was professionally fighting kickboxing, and I was sort of in tunnel vision because I was fighting a world champion in like 2 days' time. So I
Oh
come
wow.
in, so I was just like, people were talking to him. Dan was coming over to me in a suit and he was talking to me. I could see his mouth move, but it was nothing now. It was just tunnel vision from a fight. They probably said, Spence lost it. And I said, no, I haven't. I'm just focusing from a fight. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
That was so cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and allowing us to do this with you. We're super honored. That being said, Tay, I'm gonna let you kick off with the first question.
All right, I'm super excited for the first question because as we got to see with Frankenstein and like being the werewolf and everything that you've said, like a lot of your arts, right? You have a lot of makeup on, and I wanted to know how long is the longest time that you've sat in that chair and had people put like makeup and stuff on you?
Well, I've done hundreds of makeups, you know, because over my 50 characters, half of them I am under some sort of an appliance, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember the long. Have you ever heard of Rick Baker?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
No.
come on, Rick Baker, man, he's a god. He's a god in the makeup world. He did Nutty Professor. He did the makeup on
Oh wow.
the
Okay.
Medical Wealth of London. He was the wolf on the Wolfman. The first test makeup, I was in the makeup chair for 11 hours.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wow.
but to sit there and have such a living legend work on your face, and
Uh-huh.
I was I got up twice to go to the loo, and I was looking at the mirror, and I could see all these different characters coming through his makeup before we got to the Wolfman, you
Oh
know,
wow.
Wow.
and it was just an honor to be in his presence, and such great people like that, and Dave Elsey and Goran, and I had a lot of makeup artists work on me, but it's Rick's creation, you know.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my god. Yeah. I didn't so like I know a lot of his work, but yeah, I didn't know his actual name. That's yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't even imagine
honestly,
having someone like that do that.
he got his 7th Oscar working on the Wolfman, and
Oh wow.
I was privileged to be under the makeup that got him the 7th Oscar. You know, so
Yeah.
the makeup it was for the makeup. Obviously, the performance underneath that, I'm sure it helped a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Absolutely.
uh So my question is, what's been the most challenging role or project you've worked on, and like, how did you overcome those challenges?
I'm severely dyslexic,
Okay.
which a lot of people know this. I'm the age of 52 now, but at the age of 32, I couldn't read or write at 32. It was my disability. Always thought I was sick, but I wasn't.
Mm.
It meant I had a superpower, dyslexia. So I started in the kickboxing. My mum used to say to me when I was a kid, "Stop, stop kicking people, and stop being a monster." I ended up being a professional kickboxer
And a
30 years
monster.
later, and then being a professional creature actor as well. So there was
Mm.
something in that. So my challenge in the beginning, I'm fine now, but it was dialogue. But
Mhm.
it was like the industry was waiting for me, to get to that place. So they would give me a line here and a line there, and then I've played lead roles in shows.
Mhm.
So I'm fine with dialogue now, but that was my challenge. It was really hard. Sometimes when I was a kid, I'd go into the local bank and I'd shake that to write my own name out. It was like it was just one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
It was my disability, and I like to shout out to all the dyslexic people out there, especially the kids when I go around the schools and stuff. It's okay to be dyslexic because Darth Vader's dyslexic. We're all good, you know what I mean? And then
Right.
they're like, all of a sudden you'll say this little kid who's hiding behind a chair, he'll come out and go, "Oh, Darth Vader's dyslexic," and then all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, we've got a kid and we've got him. Do you know what I mean? Or her, you know?
Heck
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Heck
it's
yeah.
good.
That's great. Yeah.
So, my next question is, do you actually still do kickboxing since you said that you used to?
Well, I train the odd person. I train myself. I'm like I say, I'm 52 years old now. My last fight was at 39 years old,
Okay.
professionally.
Yeah.
And I was a pro boxer as well. I was undefeated in pro boxing. Only
Oh,
ever took
nice.
one loss in 19 fights. So, and I was the Welsh British European kickboxing champion. But I beat all the legendary world champions out there at the time as well. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
good. The most famous guy out of all of them, out the world champions, was a guy called Andre the Beast Fraser from Trinidad and Tobago, and he's in the Texas Martial Arts Hall of Fame. But they didn't talk about the fight. Then they flew him over from Tobago
Hmm.
to come to North Wales and fight Big Ben. They didn't talk about that fight. In that fight, I battered him, but I broke all my toes, my both ankles, and my left leg in that fight.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Still beating though. Still beating him.
That's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters, baby.
Oh my God.
That's
That is
amazing.
crazy. That is.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah. But I was all
Man.
right, man. I was good in the day. It got me in the films. You know what I mean? It was my physicality and the way I moved because we're 6'8", but I moved exceptionally fast and freakily fast for my
Yeah.
size. So
Yeah.
that's what got the eye on the movie people looking at me. Do you know what I mean? Because I was just so big and moved the way I did. And
Even with
I
a
mean,
broken leg, like you could still like
yeah,
move.
only one bone broke, so I was all right. It didn't completely stop.
Oh,
Oh.
So we're all right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was all right.
Whew. Man of many talents. Jeez.
I've still got that. I've still got the lumps and bumps to show my past, but I can still move well for a 52-year-old.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
That is amazing.
Yeah, all right.
So my next one would be, who was your biggest influences growing up, and how did they shape your career?
In the film industry,
Hmm.
I when I was a kid, I used to love watching The Equalizer, the original Equalizer with Edward Woodward. I used to sneak down the stairs and look through the crack through the door because I was too young to watch it. And my mum used to watch. She knew I was at the bottom of the stairs. I used to look because I used to look at him like a father figure. Do you know what I mean? My dad wasn't around too much when I was a kid, but later on when I started fighting, he come back into my life a lot more. And but yeah, and I used to love Robert De Niro. Got to work with Robert De Niro as well, Bob.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just loved Michael Caine.
Mm,
I loved them all. I loved them
right.
all.
Mm.
I really, really looked up to them all, and I've been very privileged and blessed to have got to work with them and met them at Comic Cons and film with them down the line.
Yeah, that's that's
Yeah.
that's pretty epic. Not hardly a lot of people can say that. So it's crazy as a kid, like looking up to those people, and then one day you're just right there working with them side by
I
side. I
remember
couldn't even
Hulk,
imagine.
Lee Majors. Lee Majors. You know what I mean? I
Uh-huh.
remember I was doing a Comic Con several years ago in America, and the Fall Guy. I used to love the Fall Guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then later on doing stunts in the films as well. It's pretty cool. You know what I mean? And I was sat like literally 20 feet away, and there's a big queue. I had a little queue, and he had a big queue, and I thought, oh God, I've got to go. I said to my assistant at the time, I said, listen, I've got to queue up. I've got to queue up. No, don't queue. I said, no, I'm queuing up. I want to queue up and get his autograph. So I queued up for like 10, 15 minutes, and I got to him, and he was there with his lovely wife, and I said, oh, Mr. Majors, I just, my childhood, I am where I am today is for the likes of yourselves, and I just thought I'd be honoured if you could sign an autograph for me. And he goes, "Yep, sound." And I give him the money. And then as I was walking away, I sat back on the table. His assistant leant over to him and went, and he leant back at me. He goes, "Spencer, come back here." He said, "Why didn't you tell me you were the actor?" Blah blah blah. I said, "No. Honestly, please." And he went to give me my money back. I said, "No, please, let me buy the picture." And he looked at me, because a lot of us actors were on the table. It's like we're in front of the camera, we're working, and with the fans meeting them. But for that split second, I got Lee Majors, and
Right.
he goes, "Thank you, Spen. That means a lot." I went, "Oh man,
Aw.
Oh,
I love you, man. I love you, and thank you for the feelings." Yeah, I mean, unbelievable
core memory right there. Core memory.
moment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Moment.
So, I wanted to know, do you have any of your like props or prosthetics that you have from like a previous job? Did they let you keep like anything, any one of them?
No comment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I
I
might
Fair
love
have a
enough.
that.
little
Fair
bit
enough.
here and there, you know what I mean? But I
Right, right.
remember it was nice on the very first film playing the Harry Potter. Mr. Nick Dudman and his crew, they because two of us play the werewolf on Azkaban, me and Marnix van der Broek. That Marnix was a ballet dancer from Holland. He was in Cats and everything. We were the same size and same sort of frame, and I was a fighter. So they wanted the elegance from Marnix, and they wanted the meanness and the ferociousness
Mhm.
from the fighter.
Hmm.
So they had two forces going on with me and Marnix. So we had like a 2 foot. It's like 2 foot in height, and it's a mold of the werewolf on a plaque.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
So I've
Yeah.
got that at my mum's farm with maybe a couple of other gifts from the industry.
Maybe.
But
I love that.
I remember, obviously, I didn't come from any acting background. I was a professional fighter, and I landed on one of the biggest movie sets on the planet, Harry Potter. And 22 years ago, it's still incredibly big now. But back then, wow, anybody that was working on a Harry Potter film back then was like, wow.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
to be playing the werewolf, the whole film was about the werewolf. I remember walking through one of the sets, and I picked up like a twig off the set, and it was just a bit of shit. It was a bit crap.
Yeah.
And I just picked it up, and I was like, off the werewolf set that. Oh, Harry Potter set. I put it in my pocket, and it was just rubbish on the floor. I remember the hippogriff, one of its feathers fell out. I went, oh, I'm having that. Put it in my
Oh
pocket.
yeah.
So it's in the frame of my granddad at my mum's farm. I've got the feather of the hippogriff, one of them, and it's just in the frame with my granddad who passed away years ago. So
Wow.
it's little things like that. Big Spen loves,
Oh, heck
Yeah.
yeah. Heck yes. So obviously you kind of share like some other talents and hobbies and career stuff you've done, but do you have a secret talent or hidden hobby you'd like to share that not a lot of people know about?
Well, it wouldn't be a secret if it did that, would it?
It's been a
No, it
secret till
wouldn't be.
today.
You know what? It's boring, really. I love going out for walks in the mountains. I like to go take my dog on the beach. We had 2 dogs, but we lost one of them, little Harlow.
Oh,
Well, not Harlow, it's little. It was Lola. Harlow's my granddaughter. I don't know why that name just popped into my head. So Lola was a cocker spaniel, and she was 17 years old when she died. And
Oh wow.
I was in America, and I was traveling back, and she tried to hang in there. She was poorly, but she died the day before I got back, which I was a bit
Hmm.
gutted about. But Lola used to be one of my training partners. She used to come running with me all the time, and because I was still active for the fighting back in the day, and she used to follow me everywhere. And I remember I took, because I'd been away for a year or two on the road, and I took her for a walk for a long time, Obviously, the family did, and I remember I took her out for a walk on the beach, and I thought, I'm going to start running. So I started jogging, and I haven't jogged for years and years and years with my dog. And I turned around, where's Lola? Where's Lola? And I turned around to the right of me, by my foot, she was running me like she was ran with me
Aw.
17 years ago when she was born. Yeah,
Oh.
little things like that. Bit soft, really, on it. That's the soft side of Spen. Yeah, what else? I love training kids. I'm the painter of anti-bullying back home in Wales. So if there's a kid that's getting bullied, the mum or dad will bring them to me and I'll turn that around for them,
Oh,
so they don't get bullied anymore and they can protect
That's
themselves.
beautiful.
that's great. That's so great.
Some, some of the schools don't like my things because I believe if a bully is bullying a kid, then the only medicine that bully knows is a good punch in the nose.
It's true most of the
And
time.
then they stop bullying. And then
Right.
and I always say to the kids, get about 10 of you together, surround that kid and talk to him. Why are you bullying us? You don't like us. We can't sleep at night. You're bullying us. We feel badness. And there's because there's 10 of you, he won't have a go at you. And then more than likely, that kid who's done the bullying, may be getting bullied himself. Something might be going on back home with that kid. So, it can work in favour with both sides.
Yeah,
Right.
If that made
absolutely.
sense. Did that make
No,
sense?
it absolutely
Definitely
did.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So I wanted to know if you have like a certain quote that you like live by or you say like a lot throughout like
A
your
certain
your
quote.
life, like your day.
I just, you know what? I like to leave good footsteps. So when I'm training kids and stuff like that, and I say try and do good things, man, and leave good because it's a short life. It goes quick,
Mm,
and just do good. And I always tell them to be careful crossing the road and eat your sprouts. That's the way it is. Really. That's one of my quotes.
Very
So
nice.
yeah,
So
is
that
what it
actually
is.
goes hand in hand with what my grandfather told me. He literally, like, we were in the middle of crossing a road, and he, like, just looked at us and he says, "You hesitate, you die."
That's it.
So
Mhm.
we were like at the median part, and we were like about to like go to like cross the like two lanes of the road to get to like the little pool beach house thing.
Yeah,
And I think it was my sister or maybe it was my dad or something that like took a step and then like took it back, and he just like all seriousness he's like, "You hesitate, you die." And
that's
ever
it.
since then that's like been the quote that I've lived by, so that absolutely goes hand in hand with that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, good.
And always eat your sprouts. So
I'll eat your
Yes, and
sprouts.
always eat your
Always eat your
sprouts.
sprouts. And if you don't like them, put some of that yummy gravy over it.
oh,
And then, as long as you get it in your body.
gravy makes everything taste better anyways.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the gravy.
Or cheese.
Or
Yeah.
cheese. Or
Oh,
cheese. And
oh,
garlic.
yeah. Yeah. Full mature cheese. Do you get mature cheese over there? Full mature cheese. You know what that is?
Mm.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, back over in the UK, it's called full cheddar mature cheese. So it's
Okay.
got that bit more of a kick to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think there's probably some like there's very probably like East and West Coast you can probably get some maybe, but like not from where I'm at.
All right. So
Yeah,
when you come to the UK, get some cheese in you, full
definitely.
mature cheddar cheese.
So I've actually been
I'll
to the
post them
UK
over to you.
one time when I was 17, and I have plans of coming back over there like within the next year. I actually have a plan of visiting back. So
To do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
get some
sure.
of that full mature cheddar cheese down here. It's good stuff. You know what's nice on? Get a jacket potato, make it all nice and soft inside, put some hot butter in there, and sprinkle of salt, and then put loads of mature cheddar cheese in there, melt it, and then put some baked beans on there, and some
Oh.
mature, and then some oiled tuna mayonnaise on top of that, and then
Hey,
a steak inside of it with some fried mushrooms and some couple of fried
oh
eggs.
my god,
Wow.
that does sound good.
Mm.
I'm a huge cheese fan too, so like I'll try anything with cheese.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're landing when you're coming through, sometimes you'll stop in Schiphol as one of your connection flights. Get some Dutch cheese in you. That's great. Dutch
Really?
cheese.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the round balls, the coming round
Yeah.
balls.
I
Good
say I
stuff.
love cheese, and let's be honest, I've probably never really experienced true cheese yet. So
Oh mate,
it's
yeah,
what it sounds like.
proper cheese. Can't beat a bit of that.
So, is there a role or a character that you haven't acted, but like you're like, man, if I ever got the opportunity, I really want to do this character or this role?
Well, I love playing me monsters. I do love playing monsters. You know, as actors like to get seen as well, our face. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
but I've got the Wolfman down. I've got Frankenstein down. Do you
Mhm.
know what I mean? I'd love to play Dracula. You know, get
Oh
all the hammers
yeah,
down, get all the
Ooh.
hammers down. You know, I'd love to be in a mummy film. You
Mm.
know, but
yeah.
and there is a character, the Swamp Monster.
Mhm.
I'd kill that. I'd kill that. If anybody's watching me and they want me to play the Swamp Thing, or I'd kill it, absolutely kill it,
Y'all
because
heard
I
it
I
can
here.
wonder
bring
if
the real. I
I
can
wonder
bring
if
the
James
real.
Gunn actually has a Swamp Thing already, in the
I think.
DCU.
There's
I think.
actually there's been talks that there's going to be a Swamp Thing project that James Gunn's doing. So,
Well, if Mr. James Gunn is watching this, hey, Mr.
right?
James Gunn, you give me some Play-Doh. You know how good I can bring these characters. You know, in Guardians of the Galaxy, it was
Exactly.
an honor to work under his presence, man, and take direction from him. But I love that guy, and it'd be great to work with him again. But any character that they put in front of me, I can bring the presence and spirit of the character. I can connect with it, and so
Hmm.
it'd be great to connect with the Swamp Thing.
Oh man, that would be so sick. What if like a year from now we find this out too? We're like, oh, there's a Swamp Thing project, and guess who's going to be starring in it?
Oh, imagine that.
Oh
That'd
yeah,
be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah,
we're
that'd be
putting it
cool.
into the universe right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So I
Pick
like
that
to
one up.
do, as my last question, I like to go on a deep dive through individuals' Instagrams, which you have one. So thank you for that. Um, I did a little bit of a deep dive and I found this photo of you picking up somebody at a
Ah,
Comic-Con. And I want to know if this is like a normal thing that you do, is you just pick up.
yeah, well, you know who that is, right?
Yes, that's Darth Maul and
It's
also
Ray Park.
Toad from,
Ray
yes.
Park. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Ray Park. I do. It's a thing. You'll see a lot of people on my shoulders. I've had Big
Oh.
Martin Ford on there. I've had obviously Ray Park. I've had a lot of actors on there. A lot of actors up there. You know, not so much now. You know,
Mhm.
I try and look after the neck a bit, but I used to just throw them up there all the time. You know what I mean? Get up on my shoulders. Get up there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had so many people up there. Yeah,
Nice.
I've had Casper up there. I've had his what's her name? Is the one that film where the giant bugs used to fire the rocks from their planet, and he used to what's it called?
Ah.
Oh God.
Any bugs is
The
good, dead bug. You know what's it
Oh, the
called?
Space Troopers, Star Troopers.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, you know the one. You know the one that the lady actress that you had to hot for Jasper.
Yes, with her very nice smile. Yes.
Yeah. So I've had her on my shoulders. I've had Casper on my shoulders. I've had so many of them on my shoulders, man. It's great. But like if you dig, you'll find a picture somewhere.
That's great.
All right, I'm gonna go on digging now because I
Go
need to see
digging.
this.
I guess my last one to kind of wrap it up is so what is the absolute most memorable, funniest thing that's ever happened to you on set?
Too many, too many. But
Too many. If
let's
you want to
have a
share
look.
a couple, feel free to.
I'll share a couple. On the Wolfman, I like to mess about a little bit in my characters. You know what I mean? If the character will let me. Darth Vader, you couldn't mess about with him. He's too serious. You
Sure,
know,
sure.
Hmm.
he would not let you mess about on set, and that's the way it is. But if I've got a little bit of power in there still with the character, and I'll push the character to mess about. I remember on the Wolfman, when there's visitors coming on set on the call sheets, it'll say visitors on set. You know,
Hmm.
so that could be for several reasons. More than likely, so watch your p's and q's and
Mhm.
behave. You know, so I'm sat on one of the stools, one of the chairs, in full makeup getup as the Wolfman. So I'm in the presence of the Wolfman. My eyes have changed. I'm in wolf mode. I'm on predator. And so anybody comes in front of me is getting it. They're getting eaten. You know what I mean? And I'm going to howl at the moon. I remember, so it was quite a big set. It was at Paramount Studios. I sat on a chair, and then I see the visitors coming on, and they're looking over. Obviously, it's the Wolfman. You know what I mean? They're getting closer and getting closer and closer, and they're like straight in on me. You know what I mean? I'm like, and they'll run off set. I'm like, no problem. You know what I mean? And I remember on the Game of Thrones. You remember
Uh-huh.
the Game of Thrones?
Oh God,
Hmm.
yes.
So I was White Walker 2. Ian White Walker was White Walker 1. That was the very first episode. They were
Mhm.
our They were our credits. White Walker 1, White Walker 2.
Mhm.
And so there was 2 actors, 2 extras. So me and Ian White were the actors. And there were 2 of the other guys, forget the names now, the extras. So when you first see the White Walkers in the very first episode, when they're running through the forest, chopping heads off, this, that, and the
Yeah.
other. So there's a camera at 200 meters on a big track. So they've got us on a profile, sideways, running. So there's some running the tracks to the side of us. So they're basically the profile there, side on profile of us running. And the set was a real forest, and it was in Tullamore in Belfast. And
Okay.
then there was a little stream, which is about 5 or 6 foot across, no problem to jump across it. But they give us like hard socks, so you could still feel the terrain. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so I was like the other 3 White Walkers were running with the ice swords in front of them. So I thought, nah, I'm turning around mine, so it's behind me and it looks cool, you know. So when I jump over this stream, I'm gonna throw a really cool pose. The camera will love it and look cool as shit, and then I'll land and carry him running off, you know, bit showing off. So I'm running and I can feel the camera to the right and I can feel him. I wasn't looking at him, feeling him, and I jump over the stitch and I throw a shape and I went, whoa, and I landed on a twig. I was like, ah! So I fell back. I fell back into the little stream that's full of water and come up with a
Oh
frog on my.
no.
I come up with a frog on my head, like going, oh, that'll teach you. That'll teach you for showing off, Wilding. You know what I mean? But there's so many funny stories on Harry Potter. We used to on the when the kids were on their break. So there'd be 4 doubles. There'd be 4 Harry Potters. There'd be 4 Hermione's and 4 Rons. You know. And
Uh-huh.
I'll be playing football. And I go, yo, Dan. I'm like, where's Dan? Where's Dan? There's 4 of them. And I, oh, Marty, where's 4 of them? So there's loads of little funny things that have gone on, you know. So many things, you know what I mean? I'll be here for hours telling you why it's
Oh,
funny,
that's
man.
great. That's great. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna lie. I actually, this is something that's not even I didn't have written down, but I have to ask, how was it? How did it feel like the experience of wearing the Darth Vader suit and being him in Star Wars Rogue Story
It's, you
or
know,
Rogue One? I mean,
I've worked a lot of powerful characters over the years, you know, with presences, you know, dark, light, mean, funny, whatever. But I, before I landed Vader, he's the most iconic bad guy on silver screen, still is.
mm,
So I thought, nah, he's not. Nah, I've worked the Wolfman, Frankenstein, the lead orc for Lord of the Rings, this, that, the other. He's not. And then when I landed the card on the last audition, putting the suit on, the presence came to me. My eyes went black. The atmosphere changed in the room, and then I went, "Oh, all right, I get it. I
yeah.
get it." You know what I mean? And then when he came to me, I knew I got the role. You know what I mean? Because he chose me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Mhm.
And it was that feeling. Wasn't the suit; it was the feeling, the presence and spirit, the character, and feeling the dark side of the force.
Huh. Wow.
Oh, mate,
That's
honestly,
great.
because the last audition, we had several auditions to get us to Palmer Studios, but the last audition we auditioned in the suit, the full suit, helmet,
Oh
everything.
man.
So when I remember the dresser in front of us put the helmet on, and you could see this guy had put the helmet on 100 times, you know, and he
Mm.
could see in his face like, "Here we go again." And as he put the helmet on, the character came to me, eyes changed, everything. He looked into my eyes, and he looked into Vader's eyes, you know, and
Right.
he was like, he probably had to go and change his underwear because he got scared and he ran off. He ran out the room scared. He couldn't handle it. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, Vader's in the
Yeah.
house. So I mean, and then,
Oh
Dr.
man.
Jordan, the Emperor. You know, it's just all come through. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, the voice, everything come through to me. It's incredible,
That's
man.
that's so iconic. Oh my god. I can't even
Yeah,
imagine.
not many of us actors have felt that presence, man. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Mhm.
There's only a handful of us handful of us that have played Darth. You know,
Mm.
stunties, actors. You know, what I mean, it's just like there's only a handful of us that have played him. So he's a special character to have on your CV.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. So after we get done with interviews, we typically, if you're able to, talk about anything you're working on, or anything you want to self promote at the
You
moment.
know what? I'm 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 a little bit gutted it hasn't come out yet, and I just hope it does come out, but I don't know if it will. So
Mhm.
obviously, the last few films that I did, the last film that I've been what's gone to the cinemas, Dungeons and Dragons.
Uh-huh.
Have you seen that film?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Do you know my character?
No.
No.
Right. But you've definitely seen it, yeah?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Do you
hilarious.
remember the first 5 minutes of the film, the opening first 5 minutes? You've got this big goblin guy inside a prison cell with Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine.
Yes, 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 yes.
And he gets a bit horny with Michelle Rodriguez.
Yes.
And he turns around and goes, I've been in law cells, never shared with a female. So that was me.
Oh my god.
So
What?
that was
Oh
me.
my
No
god.
CGI, the full makeup. But there's one film,
Huh.
it's called Toxic Avengers.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
huge from the 1980s. It's
Mhm.
been filmed. We filmed it at the same time as Dungeons and Dragons. And it's just, it's not been released yet. And it went to the film festival last year in
Mhm.
Texas and got a standing applause.
We've actually talked
Wow.
about that on our podcast here.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm NDA'd because it's gone to the film festival. It's officially out, but it's not
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's only been to the film festival. It's
Mhm.
not been cinema released yet. So we need the fans are staying too quiet. They need to be shouting out. They want to see Toxic Avengers. They're just sitting back.
Absolutely.
I'm playing. I'm in the show a lot. I'm NDA'd. I can't talk about it, but it's awesome to work with, Kevin Bacon, Chris,
Oh.
and Peter Dinklage and the rest of them. It was such a brilliant experience filming on that because I didn't know anything about Toxic Avengers till I landed the role, and then I did my research,
Mhm.
and then going back to the
Did you
stories
watch
like
the original?
yeah,
Okay.
all right, it's crazy, but
Yeah.
you basically it's the original on steroids. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I can only imagine with Kevin
it's
Bacon, Peter Dinklage. I
yeah,
mean,
it's
you
it's
in it.
it's
Oh,
it's a
it's got to be amazing.
Traumaville with a huge budget, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you've got to watch it. I just hope we all get to watch it because
Yeah.
my friend, he's the new uh, Predator, right?
Mhm.
Dane. He's the new Predator in the films, and he was sat with Macon Blair, the director, at the film festival, and he was watching it, and I knew he was watching it, and he
Mhm.
said, "Spen, I'll let you know what it's like after the film." So he took the pictures of my credits. I went sounds and played a couple of characters. I went brilliant, and he goes, "Spen," he goes, "If it comes out, it's brilliant for you, really good. It's a great
Uh,
show, man. It's gnarly, it's great, it's humor, it's funny, it's sad, it's this, that, and the other."
Hell yeah.
And I think every actor should be able to see his work, man.
so what you're
Mhm.
saying is we need to start a movement right here on the
I
internet for
I
everybody
think
to start
so.
demanding it.
Yeah, I don't want to piss off anybody in the industry, but
Right, right.
we need to see that film, man. We
So
need to
what
see it.
would like if like who what would be the proper move actually to go and like maybe try to try to help push that along or try to get
I think
people.
you hit all the sites of the fan
Mhm.
sites of the Toxic Avengers, the originals, and just guys start shouting it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's staying quiet. They need to be making noise. I think that's half the problem. That probably the productions think, well, there's nobody's making any noise, and will it make it a loss? Is it going to be worth bringing it out? Do you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like, do we leave it on the shelf? Yeah, it's just one of them. I'd
Right.
love to see it. It'd be just for. I've spoke to Macon Blair several times, the director, and they just don't know what to do with it, man. So
Mm.
I just hopefully he said to me, just don't give up hope yet, Spen. Hopefully it comes out. I just it'd be a little present for me if it came out to got to see my work because
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm doing some good stuff in it, and I really like the presence
Oh,
of both characters.
I hope it comes out. Oh my god.
I do. So if you, hey guys, if you in your spare, hey, time is precious. You
Mm.
know, we've all got so much time, but if you can give up a little bit of your time, do some homework, try and get it out there. Anybody that's watching and listening to this, make some noise. Let's see it. Let's try and get it out next year, man.
Yes. I I'll start doing what I can for real. Like I want to see it. It's crazy that you mentioned that. Not we didn't know that, but we actually had mentioned a few episodes ago. We talked about it. Tay brought it up,
Yeah.
and we're trying to figure out. We're like, this was done a couple of years ago or 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
but it's not out yet. We don't know why. So
Yeah, because on IMDb it has a release date. So I was like, okay, so
yeah,
where do I watch it? Like, I
Yeah.
didn't know that this was a thing. Like, and I'm like, I'm trying to like look for it. So
yeah.
that answers all the
Yeah.
questions that I had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we filmed it in Bulgaria for 12 weeks, you know, and that was
Mm.
because I helped out with Borderlands, then I went on to Dungeons and Dragons in Belfast, and then I went off and worked for 12 weeks on Toxic Avengers.
Oh wow.
Mm.
And it was
Huh.
a good shoot, it was a hard shoot, it was fun to shoot, it was great working with all the cast and crew, great guys over there in Bulgaria, good teams. But it'd be just sad if we don't get to see it, man. Because
Yeah.
the characters are very much alive and they want to be seen, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
y'all
I think
heard
it's
it.
long overdue.
Let's start putting the work on the internet. We got a mission to accomplish. So
Go on.
that being said, we also know that you love visiting cons. You make a lot of con appearances and stuff. Tay's in Vegas. I'm in Missouri. You wouldn't happen to be making an appearance anytime soon in either of our areas, would you?
Well, I'm going to Hannibal. Have you ever heard of Hannibal?
Oh, yep. Hannibal, Missouri.
I'm doing a big river con there.
Oh.
Very nice.
But,
well, that's interesting.
Debbie's the promoter, and this will be the second time coming there. I love going to the Comic Cons, going to the shops all around this planet. It's beautiful for people to take their time out of their life to look into my life and my work. And it's just, they're all a big family, but the one in Hannibal, RiverCon, is a very special one. It just sticks in there, you know. I've done hundreds of Comic Cons, and you know, and it's lovely to meet all the family. I'm into meeting the fans. I love watching the cosplayers, how much work the passion that goes into that work, and I love signing some stuff up for them. I love to do the Q&As with them, and I like to go to all their towns and cities and just meet their families, you know. But I can't wait to get back to Hannibal.
And this is in March, isn't it?
March the 28th. I believe.
Huh.
Believe
Well,
right.
Blake, I think I can actually. Do you think that we could possibly also get to Hannibal? I think that I could make that happen.
Yeah.
So get to meet you in real life.
So we are actually going to make our
first
appearance, and we're going to be there too. So we cannot wait to meet you in person.
Oh, honestly, you'll love it. There's such nice Debs. She's I class Debs as family. The promoter. She's lovely on her son. They're just lovely people, man.
Yeah.
Really, really nice people. And it's just, I can't wait to get back to Hannibal and have a giggle with them all.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I've never been to Hannibal, but I met Debs a few years back, and we've stayed in contact and became friends. And yeah, she's great. She's so passionate about it. So passionate.
And if you go to the Tate Caves. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You gotta go there.
Definitely gotta check out the caves.
Because they took me there because obviously the actors, they bring them in and take them to all the special places.
And
you go deep into these caves and everybody writes their name on the wall and stuff. And there's Jesse James, the great outlaw from back in the day. He hid out in them caves. There's proof. He hid out in them caves. And he signed the wall. You see Jesse James, and they found his signature, and it's there, you know.
That's wild.
And it's sealed off. Nobody can sign near that. You know, it's a special place.
Right.
But he said to Big Spen said to Spen, it'd be an honour for us if you could sign next to Jesse James. I went, you what?
Oh my God.
So I'm next to Jesse James.
Oh man.
Well, that's a must see. So I guess we're going to the caves.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it.
Yeah, I see it.
And if Debs, you're watching this and all the people in Hannibal, I can't wait to see you all. It's gonna be a special time again. I can't wait. Let's get in that bar and have a karaoke sing and eat some food and sounds, you know, do some Q&A. Can't wait to see
I'm happy for some karaoke. I love to sing.
It's going to be a weekend we won't forget.
Oh, you're going to have some great memories.
Well,
so you two, thanks for the great talk. I've really enjoyed myself.
Yes. Thank you so much for taking your time out and being part of the show and letting us do this interview.
I can't wait to meet you in person and give you both a hug.
Yes,
yeah, it's going to be great. Sure. I can't wait.
We're going to create some core memories too, I promise.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. We'll see everybody later.
Thank you again. Peace.